Now this is very clear. I think anyone who has worked in corporate or has spent enough of time with like uni projects would see that. So I'm not going to spend that much of time, because we're going to go back to this in relation to the second axis, which we have a process and we have results. All right, now please try to see these with nuance. I'm not saying that just because you are creative doesn't mean that you cannot be technical. Try to look at it with a more open mind, and we'll tackle the areas, these 4 quadrants, and we'll see something pretty interesting. So let's start with top right, and this is where I usually see most people make quite a bit of money. Now these are your academics, these are your actuaries, these are your doctors, okay? The thing in common is that it is a science. This is maths, this is science, this is biology. It is a science, the process is science, and it is highly technical, okay? Really specialized, really technical, hence thy price, right? So let's look at a case study. Let's look at an actuarial, right? Now you have a process. Now it's relatively low variance. I don't care what you think, but compared to the grand scheme of things, maths, markets, economies, it might be ever changing, but it still fluctuates within a relatively low variance compared to the grand scheme of things. So you serve the firm and you get rewarded a lot of money bucks by maintaining the status quo. And you might be thinking, okay, if I'm so good, if I get a lot of money being technical with a process, wouldn't it be really, really cool, and I would make more money if I were to be technical and also be results driven? And to that I say no. The reason is you serve the firm, you don't serve yourself. I'm looking at high performance, and this graph is about yourself, whether you benefit or not. The money here goes to you. Hence, the effort that you put in or the interactions are all based on the individual. And so from an individual standpoint, you questioning the status quo of the firm, right, by bringing in innovation, you either get lynched by your coworkers whose job you have just threatened because you're making the firm more efficient and you're threatening job security of your coworkers. So that's not very good. Or you get usurped, right? Your efforts, your results will get leached off of by someone in the firm. So it is always a lose-lose. No matter how you see it, bringing technical results to your firm. And in many cases, even if you're operating within a very tight-knit team, in many cases your individual contribution, your individual technical contribution won't really amount to much unless it is supported by a body. In many cases, a firm, an institute, an academic institute, if you are an academic, right? So I'm not saying that you're going to be broke, but it's just relative to the security and the money and the we're talking 300K, 400K. We're talking at least 300K plus in this area a year, right? Over here, it's a losing game. You might as well migrate to the upper quadrant if you want to stay technical and you want to embrace that aspect of specialization, or you can come to this side, right? Which is to realize your results through a more creative means and through a means where the people who receive your results will actually be grateful and would reward you accordingly. So over here though, the downside would be that you have to be mad creative, and bring results, which is a bit of a conundrum. Like most creatives are really distracted because they have so many ideas. It's very hard to sort of stay focused to bring a result. And that's why, because it's hard, it gives you a lot of money. Because you are creative to package certain services that you wanted to sort of realize, but you can't. So you came over here and you're saying, hey, let me network, let me find people who would really benefit from a package that I have made myself with my creativity to maximize margin and to leverage connections. Right? So because of you're leveraging talent, you are completely in control of what you are providing. These two, what you provide and who you provide it to, if you have a really happy marriage and you broker the relationship, you can make a lot of money. Okay? Two different schools of thought. Right? Pick your poison. And you're thinking, right, and this side is very simple, right? A creative process, someone who specs into 4 years of contemporary drawing or sculpting or whatever, and it takes you 4 years to do it. It ought to be really good. Please. It ought to give you the results, justify the process. In many cases it doesn't, people starve. Right, so there's a very clear area in which you shall be. Now, what's really cool about this graph is because it's high performer. So most people are not even on the graph. Okay? If you see yourself on the graph, that's good enough. Right? If it takes a lot of effort to be on the graph. So now it's just a matter to move from here to here. That's not a very good move. But from here to here, from here to here, or I don't know, cross country. But hopefully, if this graph, you kind of understand it and it actually applies to you, then good job, really cool. We should connect. But yeah, this is just a little thing that I've sort of thought about. One time I was talking to someone who wanted to be an actuary.